on that point, we did have the NVIDIA meeting yesterday, where Jensen Huang talked about literally trillions and trillions of heavy industry that are going to get automated, and robotics one piece of it. Take a listen.
The next wave of AI is set to automate the $50 trillion in heavy industries. Soon, robotics factories will orchestrate robots that build products that are robotic. We developed Omniverse, a revolutionary virtual world simulation platform where the physical and digital world converge for developers to create robotic systems.
This ain't about chatbots anymore,
well,
Jim.
No, and I didn't. They weren't supposed to say anything important at the meeting. They've had millions of these meetings. They never said anything. Okay, so what does Jensen say? The biggest total addressable market in the world is building of factories. What you're trying to do is you build a factory as a digital twin, see what it looks like, so you don't waste a lot. Sometimes it's up to 30% waste. The Germans have embraced it. The South Koreans have embraced it very aggressively. United States, not much. And I think that's a shame. We're not, if you're going to build one of these gigantic cargo ships, okay, very large crude, whatever, one that takes container ship, it is so much easier to do it, to build it in the digital twin and then move it to the other. I mean, one of the reasons the Apple call did not mention this because I thought they should have, because digital twins can be done for autos. There's a lot of, they want to work the Omniverse with Apple. I know that Jensen wants that. Hasn't happened yet. Omniverse, by the way, with Vision Pro.
Right.
And it could happen. I know that when I asked Tim about it, he said, hey, anything could happen. There are Lowe's is using it. Using Vision Pro. But I just think this is a really important point because it's too abstract for people. Everyone understands if we have robots and they walk around and they bring you a cup of coffee. But how about if you have a plant that you know is going to cost a fortune, and instead, like Mercedes does this, and instead of building the plant and then start making the changes while you're doing it, and think about if anyone here has ever had to do a change for a kitchen that they're doing and they realize, wow, that design's not right. Those are where the real costs come in. You're doing a bathroom. Oh, that's not right.
You're remodeling your house. Yeah.
Right. Well, if you're building or remodeling, particularly if you're building, the changes. I remember once speaking to Admiral Rickover's pieces when they were building nuclear submarines in the country. The biggest problem is the architectural changes. Like you're doing it, and it's like, no, we can't do that. No, we can't do that. Oh, geez, that was a mistake. That's eliminated when you use Jensen Huang and the Omniverse. It's just eliminated. Why the Koreans have adopted it and the Germans have and we have it, I have no idea.
These are obviously big things. We're going to talk more about.
He says 40 trillion was the number used with me.
Yeah, and just 50 yesterday.
Yes, when you see the great Jensen, and he hugs you and says thank you for recommending my stock in 2015, 16, 17, you put a lot of people in it. And I was even speaking to one of our fantastic producers earlier this morning, who probably doesn't want me to mention her name because it's her mom. But, when you have, we can't buy it. When you name Jensen really liked that I named my dog NVIDIA because it showed a level of commitment. But what really happened is that when you're in Yellowstone National Park and someone comes up to you and says, thank you for naming your dog NVIDIA, you realize maybe it had an impact on people's lives. And that's what he has said to me. Right. Now, I don't want I don't want to be too reverential. What I'm saying is that Jensen, again, he's a chef. He's an architect. He's a very kind man. He uses terms like nice. I mean, you remember like when you used nice after your mom used nice and you said don't ever use that, and your father would say don't ever use that word. That makes you look unprofessional. Well, I'd like to be as unprofessional as Jensen Huang.
All right, let's talk about NVIDIA now that we've had some time to process the annual stockholders meeting and Micron earnings. Micron beat on revenue and EPS, but they missed expectations on guidance. Micron CEO said, quote, our HBM is sold out for calendar year 2024 and calendar year 2025 with pricing already contracted for the overwhelming majority of our 2025 supply. That is big. So here's the situation, and this is very important when it comes to NVIDIA. Micron had a great quarter with great results, but expectations for forward-looking guidance were so overwhelmingly high that even with a great quarter, Micron fell short of expectations. It's important to keep this in mind when it comes to NVIDIA. Expectations are so high since the stock is trading at many multiples of its current earnings. As I've mentioned in the past, at NVIDIA's next earnings release, the company's forward-looking guidance will be equally as important as their actual earnings. Expectations are just so extremely high right now. Yesterday at NVIDIA's Annual Meeting of Stockholders, CEO Jensen Huang said a lot about the entire industry and NVIDIA's incredible lead when it comes to generative AI and quantum computing. Jensen spoke about Blackwell, NVIDIA's latest generation platform. Jensen said, quote, the Blackwell architecture platform will likely be the most successful product in our history and for the entire history of computers. That is a massive statement. My takeaway from the annual meeting is that NVIDIA is charging full speed ahead, and they're looking out over the next 10 years, especially as they make progress in quantum computing. Jensen expects massive improvements and large-scale implementation of quantum computing over the next couple decades. Now, in the short term, it does concern me to see company insiders, including Jensen, selling large quantities of shares recently. The last time Jensen sold large quantities of shares like this was back in September 2023. That being said, perhaps company executives just want to lock in some gains while the stock is trading near all-time highs. I'm interested to see how the market reacts today to Micron's earnings and what was said at NVIDIA's annual meeting yesterday. I think it will take some time for everyone to fully digest everything that has happened over the last 24 hours. As I've been saying recently, I would not be surprised to see some softening in NVIDIA's price and chop in the price action in the immediate term, likely lasting into mid to late July. Of course, I could be wrong, and I don't know what the future holds. Looking ahead, I would expect NVIDIA to have a pre-anticipatory run-up heading into August as we get closer to the company's next earnings report, which will likely be sometime in mid to late August. That being said, we have to keep an eye on the overall market though. If the entire market pulls back, it will weigh down on NVIDIA. As I've said before, if I was looking for an entry on NVIDIA right now, I would personally consider adding in the range of $98 to $112 per share, and the closer to 98 the better. Of course, this is not financial advice, and I'm just sharing my personal opinion and telling you what I'm looking for. I'm curious to know what your thoughts are on NVIDIA and the rest of the market right now in the comments below. Please leave a like on this video so more people will see it. And while you're down there, please consider subscribing. It's free, and you can always change your mind. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video.